Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamutiraye. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome for my last session of the summer camp, and in the last 4 weeks, as Prabhu said, we discussed about parents, gurus, siblings and truth, etc. So today being our last day, we are going to discuss about Bala Vishwasa, childhood faith. There are different levels of faith which we have on God, and I'm sure that you are all ready with your chat box. So, do you all have faith in God? That's my first question. Do you have faith in God? Really? Okay. Wonderful. All of you said yes. So, now the second question is, what is the difference between faith and belief? Sometimes people say, I believe in God. Sometimes people say, I have faith in God. What is the difference between belief and faith? Today, that's our session, so that we can understand, how many of you have belief and how many of you have faith. What's the difference between belief and faith? If you know, you can type in the chat box. If you don't know, it's okay, leave it. What is the difference between belief and faith? Okay, you're trying, that's good. That's okay, don't worry. So today, somebody has written, in belief people know that God exists, but in faith they reply, okay, faith means whatever you ask God will do it, but in belief He doesn't do. Okay, good answers, you're trying. Belief is something that comes from tradition. Okay, good. Some answers are 60% right, some answers are 70% right, and some are 80 to 90% right. Okay, so now today we are going to discuss that what is belief and what is faith, and what do we have on God, whether we have belief or faith on God. So at the end of the session we will come back to this question, and today you should understand this particular age, your age. You are all, I'm sure, between 10 and 15, or some maybe below 10 also, but mostly you are 10 and 15, 16, like that. Mostly you are in teens. Okay? If I ask you a question, a person lives up to 70 years in this world on an average. Which part of the life? Okay, Josh is answering something. Okay, anyway, we'll get back to the answer at the end of the class. A man lives up to 70 years. There are 7 phases in his life, 7 stages, 1 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, like that. 7 phases. Which stage do you think is the most important out of all the 7 stages? First, second, third, fourth, 5, you can type it. First means 1 to 10, second means 20 to 30, 3 means 30 to 40, like that. Okay, some people said first and second, and somebody said first. Most of you said first. That means 1 to 10. Somebody said third. Okay, somebody said 10 to 20. Very good. See, the most important stage in a person's life is 10 to 30. 10 to 20 and 20 to 30. Second and third. So how many of you are above 10? Yeah, wow, okay. Okay, so many of you are above 10. Wonderful, thank you. See, this is the most important age in a person's life. Whatever you want to become in the future, you can carve it now. You can't do it later. At the age of 50, if you want to do something, the body won't cooperate. The body won't cooperate. Your mind won't cooperate. Your physique won't cooperate. Nothing will cooperate, As you cross 50, you lose memory. All the elders in the house, they lose memory. Elderly, old parents, they forget where they keep things. They every day search for the key. Every day they search for mobile phone. Every day search for wallet. They don't know where they are going to keep everything, So, when old age, memory, catches you. Forgetfulness catches you. Yes, many of you are turning 10, 11, 12. Wonderful. So, the best age is your age. If you develop the beautiful qualities, amazingly, the life is going to be brilliant. That is why Pandavas went to school after 10. That was their education period. Ram went to school after 10. After 10, up to 20, like that, they will be in schools. And they study all the important values. And these values will slowly carve their life and they come out as wonderful personalities. So please, my dear friends, you should understand that this is the most important age. So whatever you write on a sheet now, it stays permanently. For example, you are writing. Well, let us take writing as an example. Whatever you write from 0 to 10, at the age of 10, is like writing on the water. Okay? Whatever you write after 30 is like writing on the paper. And whatever you write after 50 is like writing on the thin air. Can you write anything in the air? Is it possible? Can you write anything on water? Is it possible? No. But whatever you write between 10 to 30 is writing on a stone, carving on a stone. So which stays permanently? Writing on water, writing in thin air, writing on a carving on a stone, or writing on a paper? Which stays for a longer time? Stone, right? You're all right. Right? So the age 10 to 30, it is like carving on a stone. You can attain everything in this life in this particular age. And I'll tell you a story which happened just 4-5 years back in Africa. A part of Africa, maybe Ghana or South Africa, I'm not sure. A part of Africa. A baby girl is from a devotee family, a small baby girl. maybe 2-year-old, 3-year-old, just learn to walk. And 2-year-old, 3-year-old kids, how they walk, puppy, they walk and they'll fall and they'll get up, that's how they'll walk. They don't walk with a full control and balance, And when you see them walking, you will feel, okay, he's going to fall at any time. She's going to trip now. She's going to fall now. That is how they'll walk, like that, dancing, they will walk. So, the father, where did this take place? Where did this episode took place? Yes, you should type, boy. Yes, Africa, right. So what happened? Father was working on the upstairs of his house, first floor of his house. And in the veranda, in the courtyard, the baby is playing with a ball. This is a real incident happened in Africa just a few years back. Okay? And the ball rolled to the street. And the baby ran behind the ball. And that was a highway. It's not like normal road. It's a highway. And suddenly, father from the first floor, he saw a huge trailer truck with, yes, some of you know the story. Very good. But should I say the story or not? Yeah, some of you don't. Yeah, so should I say or stop it? Okay, yeah. So then a huge trailer truck with so many wheels, maybe 24 wheels, it's coming at a terrific speed because it's a highway. He's going at a full speed. And all of a sudden, this baby is in the middle of the road. And opposite direction, a police car, it's also coming at a good speed. Police is also coming. And the police also saw the baby girl. The truck driver also saw the baby girl. And the father from the first floor also saw the baby girl. And the father, he did not know what to do. He screamed. He's a devotee. It's a devotee family. He screamed from the first floor and he jumped. And when he jumped and landed, his leg broke. He was screaming in pain. At the same time, he saw this baby girl in the middle of the street. And the truck driver could not stop the truck. He pressed his brakes and he could not stop, and the truck came at a terrific speed, and the police also saw. And they did not know what to do. And the truck came and hit the girl at a very high speed. And she was thrown some 20 feet away. The girl was thrown and she was up in the air. Some 20 feet away she went and fell. And the police stopped their car, and the father is screaming, help, help, save my daughter, save my daughter. And the police came running, and the girl was unconscious, and everybody thought she's dead. And they took the girl to the hospital. And the doctor said, what is this? And they said, this is what happened. And the doctor examined the girl and said, I don't believe your story, because there is not a single scar on her. She has become unconscious and now she is normal. And they said, what is this? Go and bring the particular details, X-rays, ECG report, this, that. And the nurse brought, and the doctor said, what are you bringing? This is a normal one. Go and bring the girl's one. And the nurse said, no, this is the girl's one. And the doctor said, there is nothing. No scar, no internal injuries, no hemorrhage. She is perfectly fine. And the police said, how can that be? We personally saw what happened. We were witnessing the incident. The baby girl was thrown so much. How was that possible? And the doctor again and again examined to make sure he's not doing a mistake. And he realized she's perfectly okay. And they asked the girl, what happened? And the girl said, I don't know. I saw a man with a lion's head and a human body. He appeared and he just grabbed me and flew in the air right in front of the truck. The truck was about to hit me, and this person just appeared from the sky, appeared from nowhere, and lifted me and flew in the air and landed. And the girl said, see, see, see. She lifted her top and showed, and near her stomach, there is a mark of the lion's paw. As though lion has caught her, there is small impression. And the doctors were, what? How can that be? But the father knew. He said, Narsingdev prayed, saved my daughter. Jai Narsingha, Sri Narsingha. He started chanting prayers. Because the father was a devotee, he realized what exactly happened. But neither the police nor the doctors, they didn't believe. And they said, how can that be possible? It must be some miracle. And left it off. So what happened? That girl's faith, the devotee's faith, it is so strong that the girl was saved. This is faith at any circumstances. So now what is belief? I'll tell you. So this is another story. A girl, a milkmaid. She is from a village. And her father has got cows. And every day they milk the cows. And this girl used to bring the milk. And she will deliver to a particular brahmana, particular priest every day. So the priest will wait for the milk. And once he gets the milk, he will do abhisheka, bathing of the Lord. Then he will give people little charnamrita, and all the devotees will drink charnamrita. This is a daily program, but the girl was coming late every day, and the priest was getting very angry and wild. Why are you coming so late? Because of you, all the pujas are getting delayed. Because the pujas are getting delayed, people they're missing other opportunities. All because of you. You are ruining everything. You are useless. You are irresponsible. Then the baby girl said, oh Brahmana, what can I do? I have to cross a river. And there is a boatman, and he normally comes late. I have to wait for the boatman. And once the boatman comes, then I get inside the boat and we row, come across. That's how I come. It's not my mistake, it's the boatman's mistake. Then the Brahmana said, Are Pagli, you fool number one. What you should do? Simply chant Ram, 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 Ram and walk on the water and cross the river. You don't know the power of Ram's name? Simply by chanting Rama's name, we can cross all the material universes. Can't you simply cross the river? Chant Ram, Ram, Ram and cross. And the next day, the girl came at the right time. The girl came at the right time and the Brahmana asked, Are, how did you come at the right time today? Today boatman was there? Then the girl said, No, my dear Brahmana, you told me the amazing trick. You told me how to cross the river. And I did that exactly. I simply closed my eyes, chanted Ram, 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 Ram and walked on the water and crossed the river. This is wonderful. I will do this every day. Then the Brahmana said, Don't tell me lies. You walked on the water and you want me to believe that? I won't believe. You are lying. Then the girl said, No, Brahmana, I really walked on the water. Don't lie. It makes me angry. I'm going to punish you. No, sir. Really, I walked on the water. The Brahmana was getting wild, angry. Again and again, you are telling lies. He took a stick and he wanted to whack her. Then the girl said, Okay, you come, I will show you. So the Brahmana went behind the girl. And the girl went there. And she closed her eyes, folded her palms like that, and she chanted Ram, 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 and she crossed the river. Then she went on the other side of the river and said, Brahmana, you also come, cross the river, chant Ram's name, nothing will happen. So this girl, the Brahmana, lifted his dhoti, dress like that, and he started walking, Ram, 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 Butuk. he fell inside the water. He was completely drenched. See, the girl could walk on the river. Even though the Brahmana said these things, he was not able to cross the river. What does that mean? Who has faith and who was believing, who has belief? Type in your chat box. Who had faith and who had belief? Yes, type in your chat box. Yes, the girl had faith. And what did the Brahmana had? Brahmana simply believed. Very true. Now you got the point. Belief means something which can change, something which is weak, something we will stop in between. Faith means where, yes, almost all of you typed the right answer. Thank you so much. Faith means that will stay for longer time. Yes, you have typed it right. Faith stays for longer time. Faith cannot be shaken up. Faith is fixed and solid. But belief will be shaking. Belief can be influenced. Belief will change by time. Right? Loknath Narsimha, you have typed the wrong answer. Maybe you have changed your answer. It is the other way around. Okay? So now you should question yourself, what do I have? Suppose if I have a strong faith, I will not be lazy at all. I will do my chanting every day, 2 rounds, 3 rounds, 4 rounds without fail. Nobody had to ask me a question. Nobody had to inspire me. Nobody has to follow me up. Because I have a strong faith, I will do it at any time. But if I am having belief, then somebody should say that, oh, okay, did you chant your numbers today? Are you chanting? Then you will say, no, Papa, I will do it from tomorrow. Did you do? Yes, I did. And you will tell a lie. All these things will happen only if you are in the stage of belief. Okay? Faith means nobody had to follow you up. You are very strong. You are convinced, like Prahlad. Nobody told Prahlad to worship God. Nobody told Prahlad that you should do things like that. Prahlad automatically woke up in the morning, chanted Narayana, then wherever he was thrown inside jungle from the top of a cliff and this and that, and he simply had such a strong faith. Now my question to dear students, all of you, you answer in your chat box, what do you, honestly, what do you have? Faith or belief? Please answer in your chat box. What do you have? Faith or belief? Yes, see? Okay, somebody has said mix of both at some times, but mostly, I think most of us have typed it is belief and very few have said it is faith. Thank you for being very honest. It is true. We have belief. True. Because we are not so fixed. Some days we chant nicely. Some days we, like wishy-washy chanting. Some days we don't chant also. We have our own excuses. And this is not very convincing and very strong. Faith means it is deep rooted. It is so strong. Okay? In Ramayana, there is a nice story. So after the battle, after killing Ravana, the great war of history, Ram-Ravana Yuddha, the battle, there is no other war that had happened in history like Ram and Ravana's battle. Very ferocious and powerful. Finally, yes, nice answers you have got, very intelligent answers. So finally Ram won the battle. And he was tired, Ram was also not very happy killing people just for one person's sake, Ravana's sake. So many innocent have to die. Then Ram was feeling very bad. So he went and he thought, I will take a dip in the ocean. I will take a fresh bath, because the moment you take a dip in ocean, the moment you take a dip in river, you feel very fresh, because these waters, these holy waters can clean our subtle body also, our subtle body also can be cleaned by these holy waters. So Ram thought, okay, very good, let me go and take a bath in the ocean. So he went there. He pulled his sword, he had his sword. He pulled his sword and he poked it on the beach, just because, the soil of the beach will be very loose. So he took his sword, he took his sword and he just put it on the soil, just like that. Then he went, had a nice bath in the ocean. He felt very fresh. Then he came back, he dressed up. Then he pulled the soil from the beach, from the earth. He pulled it out. Then he found the tip of the sword had blood. It had blood. So he said, oh God, what happened? Then immediately Ram dug the beach. He wanted to know what happened. Then he saw there was one frog. And when Ram poked the sword, unknowingly the sword went and poked the frog. The frog was deeply hurt. Then Ram very affectionately took the frog in his hand and said, my dear frog, why you didn't make a noise when I poked my sword? If you would have made a noise, I will know that you are there, then I will poke my sword somewhere else. Why you didn't make a noise? Then the frog said, oh great Rama, whenever there is danger in my life, I call your name. Whenever there is a danger, I simply call Ram, Ram, Ram. But today, the same Ram has come with a sword and poking on me. Whom can I call? What noise I can make? Because I always take shelter of you. And today you are the very same person with your sword poking me. What will I do? So Ram felt very bad, very moved by the beautiful answer of the frog. So Ram took the frog and put it on his hand. And the frog said, I have so much faith in you. I had so much of, affection, devotion and love for you. Even if you take your sword and chop me to pieces, I know that is good for me. Whatever you say will be very good for me. I don't doubt you, and this is called faith. So one day, when Buddha was traveling from place to place, Buddha used to go from one place to another with so many disciples, and people will come and visit Buddha and they will say, please bless me, my son is sick, by your prayers my son will be okay, bless me, this, that. And Buddha used to bless them, and many of them were getting cured. So one day many men, they came and said, one of our friend is dying. Whatever he eats, he is so thin like a pencil. He is eating a lot, never puts on, and gradually he is becoming thinner and thinner. Now he cannot get up from the bed. He can't walk, he is crawling, and we are scared that he will be dead at any moment. Can you save our friend? Then Buddha said, okay, bring him. So they all went and brought him on a stretcher. On a bed kind of thing, they were carrying like a hospital stretcher, they brought him. So Buddha examined and said, very good, he will be cured. But don't give anything for 2 weeks to him to eat. Don't allow him to eat for 2 weeks. Put him to starve. And people were wondering, what is this? This man already becoming weak and he may die at any moment. Now Buddha is telling him not to eat also. So he will die very soon. But this man was very adamant. He went and 2 weeks he did not eat anything. Then he came back. And Buddha examined once more. And Buddha said, okay, very nice, starve him 1 more week. And people thought, this is crazy. This Buddha is crazy. We don't believe. He is going to kill our friend, And they said, come on, you eat, don't listen to him. Then the friend said, no, I will listen to Buddha. So 1 more week he fasted. Then when he came, he was so weak, he can't even lift his head because 3 weeks he had not eaten anything, not even a drop of water. He's almost dead. He came like that. Then Buddha examined and said, bring a glass of hot milk with camphor, with saffron, with cashew nut. Make a wonderful flavor milk and hot milk. And they all made a milk and they brought it. And Buddha gave it to the man and said, take it. And the man holded the glass and his body was trembling, shivering somehow. He brought it next to his lips. He's about to sip it. Then Buddha said, hold, don't drink. Hold the glass like this for 12 hours. Then people thought, this man is really crazy. Is he really going to treat our friend or is he planning to kill our friend? And they said, we are all leaving. But the man had faith. He was holding the glass for hours together. Then what happened? A huge earthworm, a big fatty earthworm came out of his mouth and jumped inside the glass. And with a terrific pain, and this man became completely okay. His disease got cured. So what had happened? What happened? He had a big earthworm in his belly. And whatever he eats, the earthworm was eating everything and this man was growing thin. So when he starved, automatically the earthworm also starved. So the earthworm was searching for food. So when the milk glass was kept in front of his mouth, by the smell, earthworm came for the milk and jumped inside the glass. So every villager left Buddha. They didn't have faith on Buddha. They simply believed. But this patient had strong faith in Buddha. That's why he got cured. So I am sure now you all understood the difference between faith and belief and what you should do now, because today is our last session. You all take a vow that minimum 4 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra I will chant without a break, without fail. Every day. Some of you may be chanting even more. Very good. But minimum 4 rounds I will chant without fail. That is the step of faith. Rest is all belief, because you are all in devotee houses and you go to satsang. Okay, I know Krishna. Krishna will protect me. I know God. I have been to Mayapur. I have been to Vrindavan. This, that. But are you really sincerely chanting? That makes the deciding point whether you are having belief or faith. So my request today is, every day without fail, minimum 4 rounds you should chant every day. How many of you agree? How many of you agree? Yes, Krish agreeing, Vaishnavi agreeing, Rahul, Bhavya, Devaki, Saurish, Nitish, Loknath, Kavita, Ananta, Saurish, Brishab, Shivna, Shreya, Suraj. Okay. Looks like everybody agreed. Shivansh. Okay. Dash Pradhan, Shrikant. Thank you so much. That means you all agree. So then your belief gets converted to faith. And once you have faith, so Rishabh is chanting 16. Very good, Siddharth. Everybody agreed. Thank you so much. Once you develop the strong relation of faith, then there is a beautiful, interconnection between you and God. There is an interaction between you and God, and slowly you will get answers from God. You will start realizing that Krishna is answering you, Krishna is protecting you. In this way, in the young age, we will develop a very good faith. So, once again, we are at the end of the session. Once again, to recap, this age is the best age of all time. And in this age, we should convert our belief from belief to faith. And once you have faith, Krishna is going to answer all your questions. Okay? Very good. You all took a wow. Thank you very much.